As comedians in America get wealthy, complaining about cancel culture, while they make cheap jokes about the oppressed and call it free speech, journalists like Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov, who just won the Nobel Prize, put their lives on the line in places like the Philippines and Russia for actual freedom of speech and the rights of the oppressed. What sacrifices do these comedians actually make? What price do they pay? Negative tweets? Critiques on websites that compared to their audience are minuscule? In fact, they pay no price at all. It's really just the opposite. They are paid a hefty price to share their thoughts completely uncensored in national media outlets, whether it's a streaming platform or social media, and then bitch about cancel culture when they are doing the canceling by canceling certain truths in favor of others, and then calling this careless and selective and partial truth the truth. And in fairness, it often is truth on some level, but only one truth, not the whole truth, because what's left out is as important as what's put in. And who is this vast audience that subscribes to their channels and flocks to their performances? Well, we know from Trump's rallies and history that there is always a willing audience ready to sacrifice their freedom, their individuality, their minds and thoughts to identify and be part of a larger totalitarian or authoritarian force. That's how these movements work. They count on that dynamic of people willing to sublimate their own identity to be part of the larger group. Is that freedom? That's a truth. That's a reality that's a little harder to face. It's a shame when you see comedians being the jesters of the powerful, perpetuating the same status quo that is perpetuated by the dark, shadowy money of would-be totalitarians and fascists, and then call it freedom and truth. So say your truth, whoever you are, whatever it is, but recognize who you are and what you are. Recognize the imbalance. Recognize the reality. Don't pretend what you're saying is forbidden or provocative or controversial. It's exactly the opposite. It's exactly what the elites that control the power structure want to hear. You are doing their bidding. I know comedians in other countries who have been jailed and tortured for what they've said. There are comedians who have been murdered. Being imprisoned, tortured, murdered for your comedy. That's cancel culture.